Hello, YouTube viewers. Welcome to my channel, Jackson's Journal. My name is Matthew Jackson, and today I would like to talk to you about the environment, saving the planet, the New Deal, whatever. I've been hearing this environmental stuff since the late 80s. I remember when I was going to college in the late 80s. You'd go in the library and you'd see a book called 99 Ways to Save the Planet. And you would hear phrases from the environmental left, such as save the planet, save the earth, global warming. Back in 1990, I heard that we're going to run out of fossil fuel by 2020. Well, it's 2019 now. So according to their prediction, I guess we got one more year for fossil fuel. And you heard a lot of gloom and doom and stuff. And and I'm thinking, when I hear environmentalists use the term save the planet, the first thing that comes to my mind is save the planet from what? If you use the term save the earth or save the planet, that would suggest that the planet could somehow be destroyed. And I'm thinking, okay, how could human activity on this earth actually destroy the planet? Now, think this through here. In order to literally destroy the earth, the planet Earth, this is the third rock from the sun. Okay, you got the sun in the solar system, then you have the planet Mercury orbiting the sun, and then you got Venus orbiting the sun. And after that, the next planet is the Earth. So, the Earth is a planet orbiting the sun. The only way you could literally destroy the Earth is you would have to figure out a way to stop the Earth from rotating on its axis and orbiting the sun. Because as long as the Earth is spinning on its axis and orbiting the sun, the Earth will always live. The Earth will be fine, unless you can figure out a way to make that not happen. Now, if we were to set off all of our nuclear bombs, if every country on the planet, Donald Trump was to call a summit of all the world leaders and say, hey guys, let's all destroy the planet. Let's all set off our nukes. We couldn't do it. If we set off all of our nukes and the Earth would still rotate on its axis and orbit the sun, no matter what we do. Now, would setting off all the nukes on this planet be a good thing if every country did that? Well, of course not. You'd have radiation, it would kill a lot of people, it would harm the local ecologies in the different continents. It would be bad for the inhabitants of the Earth, but not necessarily bad for the Earth. There will be some people who will survive a total nuclear blast. Some may have defects and deformities. Some won't have it all. The Earth would regenerate, repopulate over time, over centuries, over thousands of years. The radiation would subside and life would go on and the planet would go on. So when environmentalists say, destroy the planet, destroy the Earth, when I get in debates with environmentalists, especially the left-wing brand, and you back them into a corner and say, do you really think you can destroy the planet? Well, what they really mean is destroy the local ecology. Now, If you want to talk about conserving our natural resources, conserving our ecology, I'm with you on that. I don't know of anybody that approves of dirty air, dirty water, and dirty land. Obviously, we want clean air, clean water, clean land. We want to dispose of our waste properly. If you want to use wind energy, solar energy, fine. I think that's good supplemental energy sources. I don't think they're going to replace fossil fuel, but I'm all for wind energy. In fact, I lived in West Texas well, actually, the Panhandle for 27 months, and they have a bunch of wind towers out there because there's a lot of wind in the Panhandle. So, great. Yeah. You want to use alternate energy sources, fine. You want to use solar energy, fine. But don't get under this illusion that it's going to save the planet. That's where I have a problem. But I think we should dispose of our waste properly, clear cut our forests in a very responsible way, get a lot of the underbrush. All those forest fires we had in California? One of the reasons the forest fires were so devastating is because they didn't use proper forest management and they didn't clear cut or clear out some of the underbrush. That's not good for the environment when you have forest fires. Hurricanes are not good for the environment. Tornadoes aren't good for the environment, but we can't do anything to stop that. So, and also back in the late 80s, early 90s, they called it global warming. They said, oh, global warming, the temperature's increasing because of human activity. Now they call it climate change, man-made climate change. Do I believe in climate change? Yes. The earth has ebbs and flows. We have warm periods, we have cooling periods. That's been going on for thousands of years. How do you think the ice age ended? What did man do to end the ice age? Nothing. It ended on its own because the earth has its own cooling and warming cycles. But because we haven't had any real hard data that the earth has been getting warmer in the last 20 years, now they're changing the phrase to climate change as opposed to global warming, because global warming doesn't fit the narrative because there hasn't been any global warming. And if there is, so what? And if it cools, it cools. But to think that human activity somehow has a bearing on climate change, I think is very far-fetched and naive because that's been going on since the beginning of time. And to think that we could curtail human activity in order to extend our longevity on this planet, I think is very far-fetched. Man is not that powerful to destroy the planet. I'm sorry, we cannot totally destroy the planet. We can damage the habitat locally to make it unsafe for us, the inhabitants. Yes, I'm with you on that. And definitely we should be responsible. We shouldn't be dumping toxic waste in the rivers and lakes and, in our drinking water. We shouldn't be polluting the air, and we should be properly disposing of our waste. Now, I take this empty bottle here. Now, one practical thing that you could do to reduce the size of a landfill is after you finish drinking your water, take the lid off, roll it up, and then put the lid on like this. Then throw it in the trash can. If everybody did that, that would reduce the size of the landfills. If everybody used less paper, that would reduce the size of the landfill. So I'm all for reducing the size of the landfills, but it's not going to save the planet. It's just going to make things better for us. You see the difference? Also, if you're going to recycle your plastic, as opposed to throwing it in the trash. Now, with the complex I live at, they don't have a recycling bin where you can throw your plastic stuff in and they can recycle it. When I lived in another residence, they actually had a green bin that you threw your plastics, your glass, your paper in where they could recycle, which is a good thing. I support that. Here they don't have it. So rolling up your bottle like this, if you do it this way, you can put more. So whether you use recycling or put it in the regular trash can, it's still a good thing because if you put it in the recycling bin, you can recycle more bottles. If you throw it away in the regular trash and it goes to the dump, it reduces the size. So those are some practical things. Also buy the small bottles like that. How many times have you been to a party or event, people would drink half of this and then leave it half and then you throw it away? You know, you're throwing water away. You know, well, that's goofy. Just buy smaller ones, drink it all. And if you're still thirsty, get another one. But now those are some practical things that you can do. And there's a lot of practical things that you can do to help dispose of waste properly, to have our local habitat safe, where we can live safely. So yeah, I support that. But I just don't support this notion that we can destroy the planet like we actually got the power to do that. The only thing that would have the power to knock the Earth off its rotation of the axis and orbiting the sun is if some big comet or meteor that's almost as big as the Earth hits the Earth. Now that probably would destroy the Earth, but there's nothing we could do to stop that. So, you know, let's be real here. Let's get real. So yeah, let's live responsible. Let's dispose of our waste properly. Let's conserve our energy. Do our proper resources. Use alternative. Great. If you want to use wind, solar, great. Go for it. If you want to use electric cars, now electric cars, they're powered by coal because when you go home, you got to charge them up. You know, and what do you charge them up with? From power plants that are run on coal. Hello. Lithium batteries is what is in those cars. Mining for lithium is not a green activity. That's not good for the environment. So I mean, you got to really think these things through. But that's all I have to say about the environment. Thank you for watching. God bless.